Now we've got Peter, 54-year-old man who identifies as straight. He's often making suggestive comments around Stephen, who is 34 and gay. So, for instance, when an attractive guy comes into work, he'll nudge him and say things like, "Oh, look out, Steve, here's one for you." Or jokingly accuse him of flirting with male clients. And Stephen finds this very embarrassing.
So for this one, we're going to open up a fair bit of a discussion to see people's thoughts.
Yeah, is this one sexual harassment? Think back to the law. What do you think? I think there's a few questions here when it comes to the law. If we flick back and forth, is it something that is unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature that's going on here? I think there's a big question around whether this is of a sexual nature. It's to do with his sexuality, but is it of a sexual nature?
Yeah, that could be debated. People will have different opinions on that.
And the other thing is, would a reasonable person anticipate that Stephen would be offended or humiliated or intimidated?
I feel like reasonable person is such a subjective term, but most people here in our little online room, most people did say, yeah, it's pretty clear that he'd be embarrassed. And in fact, it says in the scenario that he feels embarrassed. Yeah, Steve's not on board.
Know that? Does Peter intend that? I don't know. That remains to be seen.
And I've seen situations like this where someone genuinely believes they're making a joke and they genuinely don't have any ill intent, but it still embarrasses the other person or hurts the other person. And that's kind of where we've been talking a lot today about to what extent intent matters. And that's what it keeps coming back to. It's, does it matter more that, Pete, you think this is a hilarious joke?
Yeah.
Or does it matter more that Steve doesn't feel comfortable coming to work because of these jokes that you're making?
So I think regardless of whether or not legally this is sexual harassment, the important thing is creating a workplace where everyone feels safe and comfortable. And that's why we need to put measures in place so that Peter knows that this isn't acceptable, so that Peter is aware that Stephen is being embarrassed by this, and so that this sort of thing doesn't happen, so that Stephen feels safe to come to work.
And doing it in a way that is building workplace culture rather than slap on the wrist.
Yeah, we're not here to demonize Peter.
Yes.
We're here to help Peter understand, hey, mate, you're embarrassing Stephen.
Yeah. And that's why everything we're talking about today is about this culture of respect and connection and communication. It's about knowing what to look out for, and down the line we'll give you some tips on how to address things in a way that doesn't ostracize and further
divide people.
Divide, thank you. Yeah. Further divide. Yeah, we want to bring people together.